Hello, and thank you for taking the time to listen to these messages. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out the description box for ways to support our channel. Thank you. Hello. First and foremost, I want to take an opportunity to thank everyone that has given your time and your energy to listen to these messages. Um, that is my one goal. If I could just reach one person and open one person's eyes to the reality of this planet and this realm and what it truly is, then I've done my part. Just me speaking my voice, lifting my voice, and putting content onto YouTube or the internet, excuse me, that in itself is activating an energy, not only within me, but also within the collective, within the universe. As we all rise up and we serve our purpose, we make ourselves available to that divine energy and we step into our own personal vortex, our own personal zone, if you will. That's why my company is called the Zen Zone. I found my Zen zone, my center, and I want to help other people find theirs. So, but yeah, I did want to thank everyone um, for taking the time to listen and to give feedback and be positive and respectful towards one another in the comments and also towards me. I am a very sensitive creature. Um, but I digress. I got caught up in saying thank you because you guys are why I do this. I don't do it for me. I've got everything I need as far as my what I feel that I need to evolve and to ascend as a human, as a being, sentient, intelligent being on this planet. I feel that I already have the necessary tools, and I believe it's our responsibility to try to, our best to be able to put the same tools that were effective for us out there for other people. You know, just like the age-old saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I digress. I'm sorry, but I want to start to. I want for people to really start to look at human consciousness and look at your own awareness, almost like all right, yeah, let's use a cell phone as an example. All right. um, a lot of people may not have owned the different brands. I myself personally was an Android person for many years. I loved my Android. It was actually like a hand-me-down phone. My first smartphone, no, it wasn't my first it was my first Android. My first Android was a hand-me-down from my brother. Shout out Jim, much love. Uh, he had upgraded to the newest Galaxy or whatever he had gotten, and uh, he owned it. So he was like, "Well, I wasn't gonna trade it back in. They weren't giving me any money on it, really. So like, hey, do you want this phone?" I'm like, "Yeah, heck yeah, I want that phone." So took the Android, but I noticed that the battery would die rapidly sometimes. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, why is this? I literally just pulled this thing off the charger. Why is it all the way down like 80%, 75%, man? Like what's going on with this darn thing? And, this goes on for like a month. Like I say, it was my first Android. I wasn't familiar with the fact that you had to actually terminate whatever app you were using on the phone. I'm used to, if I close it, it's closed. You know what I'm saying? And with the Android, that was my first experience with apps running in the background. And I would like to equate human consciousness to an Android, because a lot of people are running on the Android system, quote unquote, so to speak, where you have so many apps running in your background that's depleting your processing power and your battery life, for lack of better terms. If you don't seriously examine and make a conscious effort to terminate those apps running in the background, then they will drain you, they will deplete you, they will deplete your battery. You will have to go recharge. It was significant to me because I found that very unique in the aspect that once I acquired an iPhone, and I'm not an advocate for iPhone, I'm not, because that's slave labor and all that other stuff, but that's another episode. We will talk about that at another time, I do say. But nonetheless, I became an iPhone user because I like the security and I like the different features that it has, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't aware of the slave labor and all that stuff when I bought it, I was not awakened to that. But the thing I did notice, and the thing that I liked the most about the iPhone, is when I closed an app, once I swiped it off my screen, it was done. It was killed. It was not running in the background. But with the freaking Android, you had to get what was called like an app killer or whatever it was. And this app killer would limit the activity of these things running in your background and all that. And I'm like, man, why go through all that extra BS? Like, I should just be able to close the app and it be done. But I do make the same parallels with our subconscious, because we have so many things, whether it be the bills, what am I going to fix for dinner tonight, everything. You know what I mean? There are so many things that we may not even be aware are running in our subconscious that may be contributing to our current condition, whether they be positive or negative. If we're aware of our subconscious thoughts and we're consciously, if we're consciously shaping them, and we're consciously providing the content that I want to run in my subconscious, I truly believe that we'll start to see more of a benefit. I'm a person that, even though I might be engaged in a particular activity, and this started when I was in construction years ago, and I first had became a Christian and was reading the Bible, and I'd say I was probably about, 25, 26, 27, mid to late 20s when I really started to change my life. And I'd be working and I'd be running conduit or pulling wire or whatever task I was performing at that time, and I would just be constantly praying in my subconscious, constantly thanking the divine, and focusing my subconscious on, serving the Creator. And that was what kept me going for so long. That's why my work ethic, I'd be able to just zone out, because I'd start praying or I'd start singing in my head. I'd pick my favorite song. If I wasn't allowed to bring a radio on the job site, or if I wasn't allowed to utilize my headphones, then I sing in my head, or pray in my head. And that's what got me through. That's what kept me sane and kept me in a positive mind state, as opposed to if I were to be allowing negative things to run in my subconscious, or things that aren't necessarily productive to my end game, then that, those things are going to weigh you down. Those things are going to continue to multiply and continue to compound and not get any better. And I noticed that from like my most recent awakening, I wanted to become the best version of me. I wanted to refine my speech and my behavior and all of the things that make me who I am into the best version that they could be. And by doing that, that forced me into that self-examination again. As I've talked about before, it forced me to step outside of myself and observe my behavior, my actions, my words, my thoughts, everything, and be able to pick those apart and start to refine them even greater, And by doing that, I in turn substituted the prayer, because coming into my latest awakening, I'm realizing that religion and different things on this planet are not exactly what we think they are. So I don't necessarily subscribe to religion anymore. I do still acknowledge the creator of all there is, and the archangels and the ascended masters. And there are some deities out there, but not very many, not as we know them. But when I started to replace my subconscious programming with like meditation and with relaxation and with different affirmations, I am affirmations, whether it be I am powerful, I am strong, I am, like for me it was like, my very first affirmation was I am a licensed electrician. I am a licensed electrician. I am a licensed electrician. You know what I mean? And a little bit of background on that is I started off in the union, but I quickly saw that it was not for my benefit to stay there. You know what I mean? And so I left, and I only had 2 years of union schooling, apprenticeship. I still needed 2 more. There was a lot of things which I still actually needed 1 more, because the 4th year was strictly code. They teach you how to navigate the code book, and they teach you the code language so that you can actually take and pass the journeyman electrician test. The only section that I really missed was the motor controls and different things like that, and that's really all theory and logic, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you know how to troubleshoot, if you know how to follow any kind of flow diagram or read schematics, then you can freaking troubleshoot and you can figure out motor control and how to be able to troubleshoot and service those type of things. And so I left the union, and I taught myself how to do all of my calculations. Like the basic Ohm's law wheel, like, yeah, I learned that in school. But when it comes to like 3-phase calculations, when it comes to some of the load demands, power factors and different things like that, the 80% and the, all this and that, I taught myself that stuff. I taught myself how to read the code book and how to navigate and get the correct answers for the application that you're trying to use it. That's been most of my life. I've been self-taught. I've not really depended on anybody else to teach me anything. I've always gone within, I've always prayed and depended on the divine and the universe to give me that knowledge. And I can't take credit for it. I never take credit for it because, again, this is something that I depend on the divine, the universe, to assist me. I just make myself an open channel, an open conduit to receive that information, right? And yeah, those affirmations in your subconscious running constantly during the course of your day, no matter what you're doing. I am XYZ. I am. Constantly reassuring and affirming to yourself that this is the reality. You are this reality, And that was one of the first major steps that I took and started to reclaim my subconscious. And then I went from the affirmations to meditating and working on my energy centers in my subconscious. So as I'm carrying on conversations, as I'm driving, as I'm going about my normal tasks of the day, I'm literally focusing on and working on opening and controlling all of the major energy centers of the body, or the chakra system, as some traditions call it. And just the awareness, having the self-awareness to work on those things in your subconscious creates a balance, almost like you start to be able to become aware and tapped into almost every cell in your body. You can literally feel the slightest change of anything in your body. You can feel your energy moving. You can sense all of these different things working as you're, focusing on them in your subconscious. And for me, that was just the fuel for the fire, man. That was all I needed, was to have to see the results and have the desired outcome. That made me double down on everything that I was doing. It made me double down. So that's why we're currently where we're at and making the decisions that we're making, is because I saw that just taking control of my subconscious, just taking control of idle thoughts, of idle energy, of, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're doing some mindless, monotonous task, you need to be in control of where your mind is wandering to. You need to be in control of where your subconscious is, what your subconscious is focusing on. You feel me? Because those are those dead spaces, those times of opportunity that we have, that we can be working on ourselves. We can be improving our lives, you know what I'm saying? Because working on, working on your energy centers and becoming balanced and flowing properly is only going to improve the quality of your life. So if you can do just basic things, after you're taught the proper ways to do it, and then you can do it for yourself. You know what I mean? That's huge. That's huge. So that's another reason why I'm making a transition and starting to offer some of the things that I'm going to be offering on our website, is because I want people to be available and affordable to people. Because ordinarily you'd have to spend a couple $100s to go to somebody to have them activate your energy and help you. And that's another misconception. People think that because you go to whatever spiritual teacher and you get your Shakti or your Kundalini awakened by this teacher, that it's flowing. It's not flowing. The only thing they did was to give it a little oomph, a little divine nudge. They used some of their divine energy, some of their divine spark to activate that Shakti. And then it's still our responsibility to raise it through the energy channels so that it comes out of the crown. You know what I'm saying? Again, the only thing they can do is kind of give it a little kickstart, so to speak, you know, and we as sentient, intelligent beings have to be responsible and accountable to, you know, raise our divine energy and become enlightened and balanced and enlightened individuals. And that's why I want to make a lot of this stuff affordable. I want to make myself available to help anybody who needs help, you know, reprogramming their subconscious, learning some of these deep breathing, relaxation, meditation, and energy center activation techniques. This is what I want to make myself available to the public for. Any questions, anything you may have, I want to be here for you and be able to assist you and give you some of the same tools that I was given. But I got mine from the divine. Mine came from the universe. All those things were already inherent within me. And I was able to, through deep meditation and through the assistance of the divine universal energy, be able to awaken myself and bring myself online and be able to experience the benefits of having open and properly functioning energy centers. So I'm here to empower all. I'm here to give all those same tools and make them affordable for everybody. And you know, you can download these things and you got them and you can pass them along to your friends, your family, you know what I'm saying, or have them come to the website and download them themselves so that they can support the cause, you know what I mean? But there's going to be ongoing content, ongoing self-mastery modules of instruction, of basic things that we can do on our own, in our own space, to get ourselves into a higher vibration and into more of a loving and centered place. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this message in its entirety. Thank you for giving me your energy. Thank you for allowing me to express myself and to express my love for humanity. Have a wonderful, blessed day.